Let me ask you something, especially if you're over 60. Have you ever felt your heart flutter for no reason? Or noticed you're suddenly tired after doing almost nothing? Maybe you felt a little dizzy, but brushed it off as just getting older. What if I told you those could be the only warnings you'll ever get before stroke strikes? There's a hidden heart condition that cardiologists call one of the biggest stroke risks in older adults, and most people don't even know they have it. It's called atrial fibrillation, or AFib. And here's the scary part. It doesn't always cause pain. It doesn't always show up on a basic checkup, but it can send a blood clot straight to your brain, and the damage from that may be permanent. So in today's episode of No Pill Zone, I'm going to explain what AFib after 60 really means, why it becomes more dangerous with age, and what cardiologists say you should do right now to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. If you find value in this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone over 60. It could save their life. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is atrial fibrillation? What happens in your heart during AFib? Under normal conditions, your heart beats in a steady, organized rhythm, about 60 to 100 times a minute at rest. The signal starts in the upper right chamber, in an area called the sinoatrial node. It acts like a pacemaker telling the heart when to beat. This electrical signal moves through the heart, causing the upper chambers, the atria, to contract first, then the lower chambers, the ventricles. It's a smooth, powerful process that sends oxygen-rich blood to your lungs, brain, and entire body. But with atrial fibrillation, that signal system breaks down. Instead of one strong signal, the atria get bombarded with rapid, chaotic electrical signals from multiple sources. This causes the upper chambers to quiver or fibrillate instead of pumping. Now, imagine this. Instead of moving forward, blood starts to pool in the upper chamber, especially in a small pocket called the left atrial appendage. That's where blood clots can form, and one of those clots can escape and travel straight to your brain. This is how a silent rhythm in your chest becomes a life-threatening stroke. Why it's worse after 60. Here's what most people don't realize. AFib is extremely age-related. As you grow older, the electrical wiring of the heart becomes less reliable. The heart's muscle may stiffen, scar tissue may form, and other common issues like high blood pressure or valve disease begin to pile on. In fact, cardiologists estimate that over 10% of people above age 80 have AFib, and many don't know it. This is what makes it a silent stroke risk. No chest pain, no dramatic collapse, just a quiet clot traveling to the brain, doing damage in seconds. And the outcome? It can mean losing the ability to speak clearly, struggling to walk, or even losing your memory. In the next section, we'll explore why AFib is often missed in routine checkups, the subtle signs every senior should watch for, and the advanced tools cardiologists now recommend for early detection, especially if you're over 60 and focused on healthy aging. Symptoms and stroke risk. What every senior must know. We've talked about what atrial fibrillation is, but now let's dig into why it's so much more dangerous in older adults and how you can spot the signs before a stroke occurs. One of the reasons AFib is so risky after 60 is because it often goes undiagnosed. That's not due to lack of care. It's because the symptoms are so easy to miss, and they often overlap with what many seniors think is just part of aging. Let's break this down. When you're in your 40s or 50s, your heart still has some resilience. But by the time you reach your 60s and beyond, structural changes in your heart become more common. The atria may enlarge, scarred tissue may accumulate, and the natural pacemaker of your heart, the sinoatrial node, may fire less consistently. This sets the stage for AFib. But here's the trick. AFib doesn't always come with dramatic warning signs. Many older adults feel only mild fatigue, dizziness, or a vague sense of unease. Some notice they get short of breath while walking, even though their legs feel fine. Others feel like their heart skips a beat once in a while. Most brush it off, and that's the danger. Cardiologists warn that the first noticeable sign of atrial fibrillation in seniors is often the stroke itself. Let that sink in. 1 minute you're feeling a little off, and the next, a clot blocks a vessel in your brain, and your life changes in an instant. Subtle symptoms every senior should know. 1. Heart fluttering or pounding. 2. Unexplained fatigue. 3. Shortness of breath. 4. Dizziness or fainting. 5. Mild chest discomfort. And here's the most important symptom of all: nothing at all. Many seniors with AFib feel absolutely fine until it's too late. If you've ever experienced any of these signs, or even if you haven't, take a moment now to subscribe and turn on notifications. At No Pill Zone, we're helping older adults take control of their health, one habit at a time. AFib strokes tend to be more severe because the clots are larger and more damaging. Recovery is harder. Independence is often lost. This is not just about physical health. It's about preserving memory, speech, and quality of life. One thing many people overlook is that atrial fibrillation rarely exists in isolation. It's often part of a broader pattern of cardiovascular aging. Seniors with AFib frequently also face conditions like high blood pressure, sleep apnea, heart valve issues, or even mild cognitive changes. Cardiologists stress that early intervention doesn't just prevent stroke, it also helps manage this bigger picture. Catching AFib early can prompt lifestyle improvements that impact other issues too. Lowering sodium intake, quitting smoking, reducing alcohol, and improving sleep hygiene can help stabilize your heartbeat while boosting brain clarity and circulation. These lifestyle changes don't just reduce risk, they enhance quality of life. And for seniors with family responsibilities, grandkids, or a love for travel, catching AFib early could mean the difference between living freely and living cautiously. Now that we understand how atrial fibrillation in seniors can quietly raise your stroke risk, the next critical question is, how do you know if you have it, especially when you feel perfectly fine? According to cardiologists, detection starts with awareness and continues with the right monitoring tools. Monitoring tools cardiologists recommend for seniors: electrocardiogram, ECG, Holter monitor, 24 to 48 hours, event monitor, weeks of tracking, implantable loop recorder, smart devices, and handheld ECG tools like Apple Watch or KardioMobile. And don't forget this free tool, your fingers. Check your pulse daily. If it's irregular or jumpy, tell your doctor. How cardiologists reduce stroke risk from AFib. Treatment goals: 1. Control rhythm or heart rate. 2. Prevent stroke with blood thinners or procedures like the Watchman device. 3. Customize treatment for senior safety, especially for those with fall risks or multiple conditions. AFib-related strokes are also different in how deeply they impact the emotional lives of seniors and their families. Cardiologists often note that older stroke survivors struggle not just with speech or mobility, but also with feelings of frustration, isolation, and dependency. A senior who was once independent may suddenly need help dressing, eating, or remembering names. And that shift can be emotionally devastating, not only for the person, but for loved ones who now become caregivers. That's why screening, detection, and partnering with a cardiologist early is more than a medical decision. It's a choice to protect your independence, your relationships, and your dignity. And while medication has its place, Cardiologists also emphasize the power of daily habits in stroke prevention, especially for seniors. Simple steps like a 20-minute walk each day, cutting back on salty processed foods, staying hydrated, and limiting alcohol intake can improve your heart rhythm stability naturally. Managing stress through breathing exercises, prioritizing quality sleep, and avoiding long periods of inactivity all help maintain a healthy cardiovascular rhythm. These are the kind of pill-free lifestyle changes we champion here on No Pill Zone. Because real health isn't found in a bottle, it's built one smart habit at a time. Let's recap one more time. Atrial fibrillation in seniors is more common than you think, and far more dangerous when ignored. Many experience no symptoms at all, making routine screening critical. Clots from AFib are often larger and deadlier, especially after 60. Home-based monitoring tools, wearable devices, and cardiologist-guided care can dramatically reduce your risk. And most importantly, lifestyle habits like daily walks, better sleep, hydration, and heart-friendly meals can help you stay strong without medication dependence. Here at No Pill Zone, we believe in prevention with purpose. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. Freedom to live, think, move, and thrive. Subscribe now, drop a comment below, and share this with someone over 60. Ask your doctor about AFib. Ask about your pulse. Ask about your risk. Because one small question today could stop a life-changing stroke tomorrow.